friends in my fishing career, but there's something about thanks for dinner, see you in 30 days, you don't get too many second dates. Anyway, somewhere in the midst of my lobstering career, I moved home, decided to go lobster fishing. This Perfect Storm book came out about the Halloween gale of 1991. I think that was 1997 that the book came out. And people ask all the time, how did that storm change your life? Well, the storm itself didn't change my life at all. I continued to fish. The book about the storm caused my life to change a great deal. I started getting attention from a lot of different areas, but some of that attention was from publishers in New York saying, hey, you know, we've read The Perfect Storm, we're really intrigued with this female fisherman thing you have going on, do you want to write a book? And when I first started getting these calls, I was thinking, no, I don't want to write a book, that sounds like work. I like this female fisherman thing I have going on, and I'm going to continue to do it. Well, I had to really accept these opportunities as golden and realize how lucky I was. I mean, I have friends who would kill for an opportunity to write a book and have it published. I have friends who write beautifully and they get rejection letters knowing that no one's even opened the envelope to look at their material. So I mean, how lucky was I? So thinking that I was going to be the one book wonder, I wrote The Hungry Ocean, and nobody was more surprised than I was when that book became a bestseller. Fast forward 10 years, 6 books, 10 lobster fishing seasons, I get a call to go sword fishing. You want to, you know, this boat's here, can you take it? Now through the 10 years that I was lobstering and writing and book touring, I'd had some opportunities to go sword fishing again, and I always wanted to go back to it. During that whole 10 years I thought, yeah, I've got to go sword fishing again. You know, this lobstering, yeah, it's kind of boring or whatever. I need to go sword fishing again. Always had the desire and always thought that I would, but the more that time marched on, the less likely it became that I would be able to. Every time I got an opportunity, it was like, oh, I can't. I've got 800 traps in the water. Or I'm, 30 days into a 60-city book tour. I just can't drop everything and go sword fishing. Whoa. 2 years ago, the phone rang, and the timing was never going to be right, so I absolutely stunned myself, and I said, I'm going. And really happy that I did. I should look at my notes because I know I'm getting way off here, but that's too bad. I'm doing just fine. I said yes, and really wondered immediately after I hung up the phone, why I had. And I really had to think about that. And I knew that really what I wanted to do was to see if I was still seaworthy, thus, the title of the book. Seaworthy all my life had been the most complimentary adjective that I could attribute to anyone, and it's what I always wanted to be. And so what was at risk for me in returning to sword fishing after being out of it for 10 years wasn't, the physical danger of going offshore for 30 days in hurricane season. It really was the risk of disenchantment or identity crisis. I just did an interview before this talk with a really nice young guy, and I said that for years when I was writing and doing book things, I was absolutely embarrassed to be introduced as an author, really, because I think of myself as a fisherman, and author or writer quite as good as being seaworthy in my book. So I was really wondering, am I seaworthy? Can I still navigate? Can I still weather a storm? Can I put blood on the deck? Can I lead a crew of men? And the answers to those obviously are in the book. I'm not going to read the, you can read the book yourself and draw your own conclusions. I would like to read a little bit. It requires glasses now. They said it would happen. They were right. Geez, that's really weird.
No, that's okay.
It's okay.
It's when you get.
That's when I get to it.
Sorry. Nonetheless.
Okay, this is basically right after I have said yes, I'm going sword fishing, and I hang up the phone, and it's time to look for a crew. And I've, got a Rolodex I'm looking through. Got to call some guys. My mind raced ahead of the Rolodex as I frantically searched the dog-eared cards for Ringo's number. Did I have it under Tom? Did I have it crammed in the C's for crew? I couldn't imagine going offshore without Tom Ring. I had had the good fortune of great crew members while captaining the Hannah Bowden, and knew that Ringo would be my first-round draft pick for the upcoming trip. Like me, he hadn't been sword fishing in the last decade, but also like me, he'd been working on the water and dreaming about a comeback and waiting for the right opportunity. And opportunity was knocking. Ringo answered the phone, but he wasn't about to answer the knock. He had been gill netting with the same captain for some years now, and wouldn't feel right about leaving him in the lurch, he said. I wondered when Ringo had become scrupulous. Besides, he explained, my life has changed. I'm a grandfather. That was a tough one to argue with. Ringo had played the grandfather card. There was no sense trying to sway him. Ringo was out.